It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, if you look on the interactive board, you're going to see a picture that was taken at the Cannata dinner last year. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see those trophies lined up like soldiers. And Frank Cannata, I have a great idea when I started thinking about your dinner, your award ceremony, and Konica Minolta. And I'm thinking we got to put them together. Frank, call up Sam Errigo, the president of Konica Minolta US, and tell Sam Errigo that you will make sure that he wins Executive of the Year if he goes on Fridays with Frank and explains to you all the successes around All Covered and some of the other assets that they've gobbled up over the last decade and a half. Come on the show, explain all this stuff, bring some real details, bring some real math. We'll tell the whole world what's going on. And if you do that, I'll give you the Executive of the Year award. Now, you can still charge whatever fee you charge to get that award. I don't know if you charge a fee or not, but I don't want you to change your regular program for the people to get the award. Just tell Sam, you'll make sure, give him a little wink, wink, wink. I'll make sure you win it if you come on Fridays with Frank and explain to the world about all these things that Konica has done and partnerships that they've done and how all that's working out. Because the world really wants to know. And ladies and gentlemen, Konica Minolta's numbers are going to be out any week now. I think they're coming out next week. As a matter of fact, I can't wait to do that episode. Hopefully they got some profitability, but I'm going to dig into them really deep. I'm not going to let them dump a bunch of money in the etc. column. Yeah, we lost $100 million down here in etc., but no one knows where that money came from. Did we take the money from the print business or something? Anyway, well, I'll wait for the numbers to come out before I go down that road. But ladies and gentlemen, as I started thinking about Konica Minolta, and I started thinking about the Cannata dinner and that Executive of the Year award, I think there's something here. I think Frank Cannata could leverage the hell out of that thing and get Sam to agree to do it, because all executives want to win that. I mean, we have senior leaders in our industry that literally change behaviors to win that award. I mean, they'll do it right in front of your eyes, So it's not unlikely that Sam wouldn't get really excited about this. I think the first thing Sam would probably say, whether he said it out loud or not, he'd be thinking to himself, well, Frank, you gave that thing to Rick Taylor like 11 times, and he's the one that actually, got us into the all-covered thing, and he never had to prove anything. And Sam would be right to think that or even say that really loud. But at the end of the day, you can't go back in time, Sam. If Frank offers you the Executive of the Year award for you to go on Fridays with Frank and share the details about all the successes that are going on with All Covered, that'd be a fantastic thing. You should take him up on it. And Frank, I told you this before, if you need some help with the questions and stuff, just reach out to me. We're more than happy to help you. But that'd be a well-watched episode. I mean, when you guys are done, I'll throw it up here on my interactive board. We'll play through it. I could be kind of the judge of the episode, if you will. Because, ladies and gentlemen, over the last decade or so, Konica Minolta has definitely gobbled up some things. And I talked about this a little bit about a week and a half ago. But, folks, I just want to focus on a couple of things here really quick, okay, in preparation for their year-end numbers, which will be out pretty quickly. I can't wait to do that episode. But we all know the all-covered thing, right? 12 years ago, zero proof of successful integration. Sometimes I'm thinking, Todd, he gets Konica to go ahead and buy something else that they can put up underneath the umbrella of All Covered to distract everybody from what's not working, from what was already thrown up under the umbrella of All Covered. And he's hoping that if he continues to do that, eventually he'll be able to retire before all this stuff has to really work out or before the company actually has to grow organically. I mean, I don't know if Todd's thinking that, but sometimes I sure as hell thinking that. But let's look at this. If you got like 14 and a half days, you could go to Konica's website and you can literally go through all of the partnerships that they've had. They just list them all there and just read about all this stuff. And I got to ask a question. What if Konica shared how the great potential programs actually turned out? How did the past programs turn out? So in other words, when they do a press release on the next great thing, which they seem to do like every other day, why don't they share with you what happened with the last press release? Because you know what I say, those that continue to do press releases after press release after press release are trying to distract you from the non-release of the previous press release. That's just a logical thing to think about, right? But ladies and gentlemen, is Konica misguiding themselves? Do they think they're a business incubator? If they are, they should take a page from Xerox. They just got rid of Park, right? I mean, Konica, you're not a business incubator. Focus on the things you already have. Clean this stuff up. Get rid of some of those things that you think were sacred cows. Throw them in the trash if they're not profitable, if they're not working out. Get rid of them and move on. You can't just have this, let's throw it at the wall and see if it sticks approach anymore. Times are getting tough. The industry's declining. We got to get rifle focused. And just because you do a press release, that doesn't mean everything's going great. And we know that Konica Minolta loves to brag about how great things are at Konica Minolta. But it's really easy to brag about how great things are if you don't have to show any math with the greatness. Remember this? MGI Digital, industrial space, all excited about it. 9 years, what's happened? It's been 9 years, what's happened? I know industrial's big. Okay, we've seen some growth in profitability in your industrial space. We'll see where that's at when your financials come out. But it's really undescribed growth, and where's the profit coming from? We also see that etc. category that's loading up with losses, and we're trying to figure out where that money's coming from. But at the end of the day, we'll wait till the financials come out. We'll check into that. Remember this, Mobotics? Mobotics is going to take another 7 years before anybody really understands what this is and what your go-to-market strategy is on it, and where's all the success around this. Let me read number 3. Broadening the distribution of Mobotics products and services. Konica Minolta will broaden the distribution of Mobotics products and their solution services by leveraging its global direct sales network and after-sales support and services system. So we're going to sell this into direct operations. How well is that going? How well is it going in the direct operations? Because I get it, Mobotics has some great technologies that can go into the industrial lens business for Konica Minolta, but the industrial lens business for Konica Minolta has nothing to do with the print business, has nothing to do with the direct operations. So I'm just kind of wondering where this fits and how successful it's been. Because it is a needed product. There is a market for it, obviously. But are the reps able to actually go into the marketplace and sell this stuff? Do they include it with copy machines and MFPs? Is it part of managed print services? Hey, put a camera over the printer. That way we know you're putting our toner in it. I kind of went off track there a little bit. But at the end of the day, what is all this about? The Forza thing, come on, folks. I got to ask a question. I'll ask this. This is a serious question. Was Forza ever more than its next press release about what it might be? Remember Forza? Press release after press release after press release after press release after press release. What were those press releases? Total distractions of what wasn't released from the last press release. That's just a reality. Konica Minolta's had that thing for 5 years. It says in the press release that the MWAI team will stay on at Konica Minolta. Well, that's 5 years. I don't think anybody's left from the original team. I don't even know how many employees are left over there promoting the Forza product. The document imaging channel's ERP system. Is this one of those sacred cows that Konica Minolta just needs to get rid of? And folks, I'm already telling you, I believe wholeheartedly that Forza's on the chopping block. It's got to be. It can't be producing enough revenue in a marketplace that's completely declining, that's got all kinds of pressures, economic pressures. The Fed just raised the rate another 0.25%. We can't just keep doing things because we want them to work. There has to be a time limit. Didn't work, you're done. That kind of thing. And that's where the bold, tough leaders have to come and be able to do those things. The Workplace Hub, other than being a comedy skit on the end of the day with Ray off and on, realistically, what is this thing? And it's been 6 years. Has the world decided the Workplace Hub isn't that intelligent? Is that what's going on? Because this thing was going to be all that was going to change the whole world. And at the end of the day, what did it really accomplish? There's a whole lot of people that still don't even know what it is. Can anyone explain Konica's go-to-market strategy? Dealer operations, direct operations, all covered in its collection of acquisitions, office print, DW, DX, industrial print. Are the reps just waiting for the next press release to figure out what they're doing? When the reps at Konica Minolta and the direct operations that they have left, and they're standing around the water cooler, and somebody says, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Do they say, well, we're going to wait for the next press release to see what the directions are? Because, folks, when you look at Konica Minolta from the outside in, that's exactly what it looks like. When you have an industries whose media and analysts never ask Konica any questions whatsoever and allow them to continue to go into the marketplace and brag about all the awards they won to try to distract everybody from what's not going on, I think that we need to be a little bit tougher in our analysis. And I really believe that when Konica puts out a press release, because let's be honest, folks, they're the ones that do this the most. When they put out another press release, they should have to explain what happened with the last press release, or the press release that was 3 or 6 months ago. Because, ladies and gentlemen, here's something I want everybody to think about. And this is one of the reasons that I've been adamant about getting more details around all covered. Remember when Konica sold off 21 of their direct operations? I brought this up a couple of different times, never got an answer. But what happened to the all covered business in those 21 offices? Was it so small it didn't matter? Do they have people in those marketplaces that are managing these 1 or 2 IT services companies? What exactly was going on in 21 direct operations around all covered and all these other things that Konica Minolta sells besides print? How are they able to get rid of 21 direct operations and not impact all these other things? And if they have all these other things that have been successfully delivered through those 21 direct operations that Konica Minolta got rid of, share that story. Because that story could be really, really important to the dealer community, to the industry in general, as they try to figure out what works and what doesn't work. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we all know this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck at status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.